Yeah. So today what we do, like we'll try to work on the advanced samples. Okay.
Sorry, with
Question? Hello.
yes, yes. Can you repeat once again?
We'll try to work on the advanced samples. Okay.
Okay, okay, yeah.
So the advanced samples include, like the one is HGrid, and the other one is, like uploading CSV file in the database. Okay.
Okay,
And the other one is uploading a file into file system. Okay. And another one is displaying database image. Displaying database image in the OAF. So these are the four samples which we'll try to discuss. Okay.
okay,
And the first sample which we'll discuss now is this one, uploading file to file system. Okay. So now
okay,
the concept of this one is, like here, uploading file to one. So this particular this functionality uses a few Java logic. Okay. So it's just a few Java, like API we have to use it for the purpose of loading a file from one location to the destination there. So we are loading the file into file system, not to the database. Because to the database you already know that, like using attachment bean, we can upload the data into FND file block. Right. So now here we are
yeah,
trying to upload the data into appropriate some location. So sometimes what may happen is, like users, they just want to upload the file to some temporary directory. Now here, as we are running the file from the JDeveloper, so I have to use the local system directory. If you are running the page from the server, if you are running the page from your instance, then you have to have a valid directory of your server. Now in my case, what I have done is, like if you upload this one, I upload to directory. Okay, this is sample. So in this one, if you have to see, like it is a prepared code, because it is really difficult to prepare the code in front of you. So I already have a ready-made code. I'll try to
yeah,
explain line by line what exactly we are using and which particular thing, which particular code we have to write it. Okay. Now if you consider, there is no, model layer, there is nothing, just a AIM is there. And coming to the view layer as well as CO layer, if you observe the view layer, we have two components. One is file upload bean, other one is upload button. So file upload being as other kind of button, it shows a file dialog. It shows a file dialog. If you observe here, this is the dialog. File upload bean. This is called file upload bean. So it will automatically have a text input box followed by a browse button. So when you choose your item file as a message file upload, it will have a text box followed by browse button. Generally we call it as file upload bean. Maybe in the other functionalities, yeah, we call it as file upload bean. Okay. So, and after that we also have a upload button. So user will select a file, and when the user clicks on upload, let's see what is the code we have written for this particular purpose. So when user clicks on upload, they'll go to process form request, and here I'm just calling another method called upload file. So this method. So in upload file, what I mentioned is I just mentioned the destination directory. So here with my directory is like a sales reader file upload. So already I have some files I'll delete this. So this is a destination directory which I want to copy the files. So user will select a file and you just click on upload, and automatically the file will get copied to this particular directory. And now, what are we trying to do, like when user clicks on upload? So here, observe this particular bean. This bean is quite different concept. Now, just the bean ID name is file upload bean. The bean ID is file upload. So here, what are we trying to do? Using the data object API. There's an API called data object API. Using this one, we can just find what is the content of the file, what is the file name, what is the, there are some properties where you can get using the data file, data object API. So we are getting the value of the file name, and we are getting the content type of the file, like whether it's a text file or CSV or PDF, whatever it is, you're getting all the information, and then using the stream objects, using the streams, you are reading the data. So now here if you observe, so here, as of now, I just declared this temporary variable called file output stream, input stream. And here, what we are doing, like file upload data bus, select value from a file name. So here, we're just getting the stream information, okay. And after that, if you observe here, there, like, yeah. So here we are writing the data in a byte by byte fashion to the output directory. So, but what is this output here? This output is nothing but a file output stream. Can you see line number 92? And here this is a while loop which you are writing the data. But where you are getting from where I am getting the data? I am getting the data from the input. So here if you observe this input data is equal to uploaded byte string dot get input string. uploaded by string dot get input string. So the data which I am getting using a file and converting to the blob domain, and that particular blob domain I'm converting to input stream, and that input stream I'm converting to output stream. So blob domain, input stream, and output stream. So these are three different logics which I'm using here. And I think even in our XML report also we have been using the same concept, right? Input stream, output stream, as well as blob
Yep.
domain. The same thing here. Using a blob domain, get the data content and convert that into output stream, and then convert that into here. What are you doing? Yeah, this one, right? Yeah, convert that into input stream and then write the data into output stream. Blob domain, input stream, and output stream. So we are writing byte by byte, and that's it. Okay. Now you observe this
So
one.
you're selecting the file from C drive, right? Your local path and where it is going to upload,
No, we are storing here.
or it is going to
Selecting a file can be from any location,
okay.
any valid location from your system. As you're running the file, as you're running the
Okay.
page from the J developer, we have to, the destination directory should be valid location in your file system. If it is from the server, you can have
Okay.
any particular valid location. Now I'll just select any file,
Okay.
let us say, yeah, some HTML file, and click on upload, and just see this. It says that uploaded the file and the file name, and that has to be available in this one. Got it?
Yep. And if I want to store in the app state, then I can give just give the apps location, right? That app state location, the
Right,
server.
right. Yes, yes, that is one. Yeah. If it is
Okay.
if you're running the page from the server, you have to give your server location. Because this will not work if you mention
Yes.
CSV, it will not work, right? So you have to mention the your appropriate app
Yeah.
location.
Yeah.
Now let us say I selected PDF file, you just click on upload. Now we have to say PDF name, right? And you can try for another file. Let's
Okay.
say select some Java file. Click on upload. Okay. So this one also I can upload the file. Right? That's it. So this is how
Yeah.
you can upload a file. So this is a barely required scenario, but sometimes you'll get these kind of requirements also. So we have to be aware
Okay.
of these particular concepts. Now, other samples which I have now is like uploading the CSV file to database. See, generally, if it is a normal app technical concept, you can just have a SQL loader and you can just upload it to your system. But there are chances you may have a requirement
Yes.
where user will select a CSV file and then you want to upload it to database. Again, there are different ways of writing the logic. Nothing but like if you're expert in a PL SQL logic, what you can do, you just read the CSV content from the front end and you send this particular block content to your PL SQL API, and from there you can convert into you can write the remaining logic. But rather than having that particular logic, we can directly insert into our tables using our Java APIs. See, like it's a complex thing, right? Like we have to get the block content,
Yeah.
pass it to the database, format there. If it is any issues, again roll back and throw the exception. That's a very difficult thing. If it's just a pure SQL loader or pure app technical, then you can do using a SQL loader itself. But if it's a combination, if you have a front end like this, OAF page and some back end thing, then you have to consider whether you want to write in a Java or whether you want to write in a PLC. So in our case, like I have chosen Java, so where I can user will select a CSV file and simply when a user clicks on upload, it upload into database table directly. Okay. So now here again the same concept. Total string. In the Java, whenever you deal with the files, always will come across strings. It can be input or output stream, or block domain stream, or binary stream like this. So now let me show them my CSV file, and this is my CSV file. I just have three columns like organization ID, item number, as well as status. And the table is
Yes.
this is my table like this. Yeah, CSV file block. This is the table. So already have the data. I just delete them. Okay. Yeah. So now what we do is like let's first of all let's run the page and we can discuss about the coding. So the sample is file upload CSV file. Again I have the same thing. Upload bean and submit button. Same thing.
Yeah.
But it is having some model layer, like it is having an entity as well, because once user selects a file, we have to upload it database, right? So for that one, I have used entity
Yes.
as well as video. Now let us select some item number. 1 or 2, 3, okay, and 90. I'll save the file, and it is CSV file, common separated data. Now just click on browse, and my file is available on desktop. I can read it as CSV. Select the file, and just click on submit. Right? Data saved successfully, and let us see in the database whether it is having the 4 records or not. Right?
Yes.
Again, you can try upload again. Because I don't think I have any primary constraint, I can just upload it again. You can submit again. Yeah. And check it now. It has to be 8 records now. Right?
Yep.
Right? 901, 902, 903. So, the remaining are 2 columns. They'll get updated automatically. Remaining are 2 columns, and these are the first 3 columns, 4 columns, 3 columns. The first one is a sequence, and this remaining 3 columns I am getting from the database, from the file. So now what we have to do is, like, earlier we have read the file and we have written the byte stream, right? But here a little bit different. In this particular CSV file logic, so you just need to do it a different way, little bit. And again, same thing. You use the data object API, get all the content here, and using the byte stream again. I'm getting all the data using my byte stream, and after that, what I'm doing, so I'm converting that particular stream into input stream, okay, and then what we are doing, like, yeah, so here is the logic, write lines to Vivo. So here till this particular part, you get the file, get all the information about the file, I mean, convert that particular file in the file data into the stream, okay, uploaded by stream, and after that read the data using input stream, and pass this particular input stream to the another method. So wonderfully I've written separate method for this one. So here what I'm doing, so I have a method for write lines to the Vivo. I have the page context, between, as well as buffer reader. So here in this one, I'm using a Vivo for this one, like a Vivo, okay, XXCS CSV file, blob DBImage. It is very simple Vivo, which is based on the same table, which is based on the entity object, which I have chosen. And so what exactly we are trying to do is we want to read the data line by line. See, the way you write a SQL loader program, what we do, first of all, we have to divide the line, and then we have to divide the column. The same way here also. We have to read the data line by line and convert the line into columns, and then insert the column into the appropriate attributes. Now here what I'm doing, so get the stream, and here there's a method called input stream. So we are getting the data in input buffer reader input stream object, and read the data line by line, dot read line. So there's a method called read line which reads the data line by line, like the way we have in our get line method in the util file. In the util file API, we have a get line, put line, right? The same way we have a read line method which uses to read the data like a line by line fashion. Okay, read the data line by line. Okay, and after that, what we have to do is that we have to, I don't have much validations here. I just kept only little bit few validations. If the data length of the file is greater than 0 or not. If it is greater than, then we can read it. And also, there's one more thing which I am checking is whether it is having 3 columns or not. Whether it is having 3 columns or not. Because after reading the data, I have to read the column, right? Once we have the data, like here, this line text. So this particular line reader. So here line text is equal to line reader dot string. So this line reader is a string. Line reader is a string which is having the information, right? So line reader is equal to input dot read line, and line reader is a string which is having all the data which are comma separated. I have to convert that particular comma separated data into separate columns. So see, this particular line text is a string array. This line text is a string array. Can you see 106? Line text is a string array. So here I'm converting. I have a function called split which will split the data into, which will split the data based on the whatever what you say delimiter, which will split the data based on the delimiter what
Delimited,
we
yes.
supply. So this will split the data, and after that, if this particular array length is equal to 3, because I was just considering that if the number of columns are 3, then it is valid, else it is not valid. So that is how I'm considering. And after that, I'm uploading all the data, like as per my attributes. First one is organization code, next one is segment, and other one is tables. The same way I have written the CSV file. Organization code, item number, and tables. That's it. Okay. So after that, finally commit it. And if any error, then you just need to stop the particular line, and we are reading the other line. there are different ways you can handle it, like whether you can consider some restrictions. You can have different kinds of validation. If the file name is same or not, if the data size is correct or not. If let us say I have mentioned organization code. If the organization code is not correct, we should not upload, right? We can just say that at line number this one and this organization code is wrong, something like that. So there are different ways you can handle it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how we can use a CSV
And
file. Yeah.
it is the same logic for to upload the text file as well with the pipe delimited everything.
Yeah, same thing. We just need to use this CSV functionality.
Okay.
Yeah. It all based on delimit. If it is based
Okay.
on delimited, yes, of course. This is how we have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all
Okay.
depends. We have to choose whether you have to go with the Java or CSV. It all depends upon the requirement. Then things are appropriate one. Okay. So now
Okay. Yeah.
other one what we have is okay. So display database image in the OAF page. So this fourth one, like here, this is quite different concept. See, what is the reason is like we know how to display image if it is available in the OA underscore HTML directory, right? If it is available as a file, we can simply
Yes.
have to display the OA page. But if your image is available as a blob content in the database, then we don't have any direct functionality to display the database image. That is one of the drawbacks of the OAF framework. There is no direct functionality to display the database image in the OAF page. Okay, so for that we have to use some Java APIs and some wrapper classes for the purpose of it. Now, if we show you this result, then we can discuss on the coding. So I have the page for display database image. See, the sample name resembles the functionality. So by this, we can easily understand what is the functionality which it is working on. Okay. So we can able to see some images in the OAP page. This particular data belongs to the normal HRMS employee data. All HRMS data are employees. Okay, I'm just trying to get 20 employees. So, but what is the extra logic which I'm using? See, what is the thing is, if you have a database image, yes, by default it will not work. We have to go with a different approach, and let me show what is the coding written for this one and what is the uh, all the components. So we have a vivo here, and we also have a page and vivo. So in the page, if you observe, the first item is just an employee number, and the other one is other one. If you observe here, just an image. So for this image, I am not attached any view attribute. For this image, there is no view attribute I have attached. And just observe the query. Observe the query first. First images, 30 MB image Vivo one. So first images, MB image Vivo one. Vivo. So take this particular query here. Okay. So now here, if you observe, where is the block content? So the column name image is the block content here. The column name image is the block content. You can observe from here also. Isn't it? Right? The column name image is the block content. Okay. So now what we are trying to do is, so the remaining is a normal thing which you have been doing, but now the extra thing is like this particular block content, how I'm attaching to that particular column, the image column at runtime. Because there is no direct function. Even if you apply the image content to it, it will not work. So we have to write some Java logic here, just observe here. So the first thing what we are doing, first of all, getting the image bin and setting the size of the image bin. Image bin I'm getting. So this image bin is a part of our table region, right? OA image bin, find chain index recursive, okay, and I'm getting the image bin, okay, and after that, so there are some particular coding I've written, attribute, and setting some attribute values, okay, and generally, like this is quite different concept, but so this is logic you have to use it. So I'm setting the width, height, and is a normal UI property, and other thing what I'm doing is, for this particular image bin, I'm setting an attribute called image source. I'm setting a attribute called image source because see, if your item is available in the table B, always it should have an attribute. If it doesn't have attribute, automatically it will raise an exception. But as we are setting the attribute in the process request, it is not giving an exception. Okay. Now image source is the attribute, but what is the value of image source? That we have written below. So now what we are doing, so we are getting the, first of all get the EM and get the Vivo, okay. And after that, what we are trying to do is we are converting that particular image. Now here, the blob domain, if you observe OA row dot get attribute, So in our Vivo, the column image belongs to the blob domain, isn't it? The column image belongs to the blob domain. If you observe in the database this one, the column image belongs to the blob domain, isn't it? And also, there's a transient attribute here. If you observe in the Vivo, there's a transient attribute. Let's see the images. Image source. Can you see? There's an attribute called image source. It's a transient one.
Image source.
Image source is a transient one. So, a simple string. And here, what we are trying to set it is, so to the image source. So we are getting the blob domain. See, we have the image. We have the blob image in the image attribute. So we are converting that particular blob image, which is a raw format, into a file system file. So we are reading the data, we are reading the blob domain and converting that as a file. So if you observe here, there's some other extra coding which we are using here. Create file. So we are passing the blob domain, we are passing some strings and converting that particular file to blob domain string from input to output. Okay. So this is the string, this information, and this particular information, what we are trying to do, we are attaching to that particular image source. If you observe this create file, we are calling from here. So the image source we are applying to this particular temporary string. So what is the general logic? What is the logic we are following is we are converting this particular blob domain which is available in the database into a file system stream as a file, as a temporary file, and attach that particular temporary file to the attribute at runtime. So that is how it is getting this thing. So it is not my even it is not my code. I just got from the data and I just did. Okay.
Yep.
The only thing is we have to consider, like let us in the later point of time, if you have some information which is available in database and it's not display, what we have to do is just consider that the blob domain has to be converted into some string, some particular file, and that particular file you have to apply to your image attribute. That is what we have done. So that we are applying to the image attribute like this, image source.
Okay.
And the other one what we have is the final sample is this one.
Then
HGrid. Yeah.
how do you upload the image file into database and
That's the same thing, right?
what's the process?
No. We have the file attachment beam, right? File attachment beam.
Yes.
Yeah. You can use that one.
That is we are uploading. Okay.
File blob. Let us say, see, using attachment beam, you can upload the data into file blob. But if you have a requirement to upload the data into your custom table, then what you have to do is you just create the same thing, entity object, Vivo object, everything same, and then you have to use a message file upload beam, use the message file upload beam, and to that particular one you have to apply, like you just need to set the attribute to your blob content. It will have the
Okay.
attribute property, right? You just need to set it to your that one. So I'm not sure. I think I used to have it, but not sure whether it is done or not. Let me try. File upload database. It is just doing long time. I've been to sample it. Okay, sequence. Okay, let me create a sequence. So click on browse and I can select new file. Click on save and browse in section. Create the full data. Table okay. So let me check the table. Okay. Let me go change. Okay, this is a different table. Oh, okay. It's a different table. We're just having the ID as well as file club, right? ID and file club. Column name is ID. Another one is so when you're treating a table, let us say now in my case the table is not allowed. See, the code was written when the table was there, but now the table was not there. So we always need to refresh, like we have to synchronize. Even whenever there is any modification you in the appropriate table, always you have to modify you have to synchronize your entity object. Right click on this particular EVO, right click here and click on synchronize. So when you click on synchronize, it will try to refresh the what is the metadata with the database. You observe here, it is like it is getting refreshed now. Synchronize all, yes. Okay, that's it. So it's totally synchronized now. Now just click on this one, it has to show you, right? Now it is showing the information. I'm just trying.
Yeah.
Click on browse, select any file, and save. Right? And now check in the database. Check in the database. Select start. No, it's not getting. It is loading here. It is loading. I mean, yeah, some mistake I guess. There is no coding, extra coding required for this one. Very simple. That saving only. File of the file block. I think it's got changed about. See here. Got it? The attributes got modified. That's the problem.
Yep.
So it became transient. It has to be database one. If you observe, it has to be database one. So these kind of issues will come across. So we have to be very much careful.
Okay.
Right? What we can do is it is better that you use these tables. Let us say that is we start here. You can apply and see the attribute. Better if you regenerate them. What I will do is just click on attribute, remove them. Okay, remove them. And here I remove ID. Again see here, redeem transient one. So first of all, set the entity object. There could be some mistake in entity object. Can you see? Mistake is there in entity object itself.
Yes.
Go to the entity object. So we have this one, right? Which was where is this transient? This is not from the database. You remove it. Yeah. But I'll show
Yeah.
you. I am removing all the things and just click on view from table. So in the database I have these two things, right? I selected two things. Click on apply. Right? Now go back to the view.
Yeah.
Go back to the view here. And here I remove these two things. You got repage, but now I'll remove these things. Okay. I'll select these particulars. Again it is showing still transient. No problem, but what we can do,
Okay.
for the attribute mappings. So here I'll select it as database. Check it properly. Yeah, now it's a perfect. Right? So here when you click on attribute mapping,
Yeah.
it shows something whether you want to select it from the EOBMO or from the unmapped sequence. There are two things. Always, if it's entity based, you have to select the value from the entity base. Yeah, right. So that is why like when you are trying to create your OAF pages, always make sure that your data model is ready. Nothing but your database in all the things are ready. Don't design the pages and then validate or like that. Of course, see we cannot say you cannot do it, but you face the issue. That is for sure. They will always
Yes.
prefer that like you better your make sure that your ERT is ready. Nothing but your database data model is ready. And see now this case you face these kind of issues. Therefore, your file block of method is not found. So not saying that attribute itself is not found. So check it whether here. If here is on file, maybe see. Can you see? It is B small
Yes.
here, B small, and there it is capital. So select this particular one and done. So the names also very much important. The attribute names, the column names, data types. People database. Got it? Perfect.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Now you just click that image or text, whatever it is. It is text file, so I'll select it. So the text got uploaded here. Text file. So for uploading a file is very easy. Just you have to use message file upload window. Okay. So the file known as HGrid sample. HGrid. So let me show you the sample, then now you can see the coding. So for that one, I have the sample name is employee HGrid. So we have discussed the viewing concept, right? Did we discuss or viewing?
Which one?
Viewing. Master child.
View link. Yeah, we discussed view link.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the view link, like generally, like the why we go for the view link is like when we want to show the data in hierarchical manner, and we have used our like the table being detailed class, detail view logic, right, for that one. So this works perfectly only if the hierarchy is one level hierarchy. Nothing but main is
Yeah.
employee like this. It works only with one level hierarchy. But if you have multiple levels, nothing but let us I have supervisor, I have my manager, again I have my employee, like this, or intern. So if you have multiple levels, then your normal table being detail view will not work. You have to use a concept of HGrid. It's not about region choice. It's called hierarchical base. Hierarchical base. And it
Great.
is
Okay.
safer to use HGrid only for the purpose of view purpose, not for the update purpose. It works perfectly only if it is
Hmm.
read-only purpose. If it is updatable, of course, it will not work and you will face a lot of issues. It is preferable not to use. If there are chances it works, but still, it's not a perfect solution. You have to go with alternative. Okay. Now, where is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me run the page again. Then I have to do this. This particular sample displays the HRMS employee information in a supervisor employee kind of hierarchy. So it's a recursive. Let us say from the C level to the normal associate. It's a recursive information. In-level hierarchy. And yeah. So now if you observe that, let us say this document start. I think yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Right. As we can do. Right. So here, see this particular component. Whenever you see this kind of icon and the root one is like this, it's called HGrid. Okay, and you just click on expand all this. Right? It will have any level hierarchy. You observe 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. Right? Here you
Oh,
observe.
yes.
So that's how it does not require any kind of coding. The only thing is your data model. The VO should be perfect. The data model should be perfect.
Okay.
Here, how do you design this component? To design these components also again a tricky thing. So now if you observe, what is the VO, which VO I have used here? For this one, I'm using a VO called employee details VO one. I'm using a VO called employee details VO. So see this one, see this VO. Okay. So this is the VO. Anything? So here I just it is having the how many columns? 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. So person ID, employee name, and supervisor ID. Okay. So now, what exactly we are trying to do is, if you observe in this the page, employee history. So here we are showing the person ID, supervisor ID, and if you see, now let us say observe document style. So that's one. Okay. Now the employee ID for the employee ID for the stock mispack is 25 and the supervisor ID is 31, right? And if you observe, so so the stock mispack supervisor name is, his supervisor ID is 31, and if you observe who is that employee, this employee is Miss Cassie, right? And if you expand this one, it will show the information of the Cassie, and for the Cassie, the supervisor is 650. It is quite it's a kind of what do you say, like from employee to the manager kind of hierarchy. Of course, we can display in that other way also, but this is the page. It all depends upon the query what I have written, right? Okay.
Yes.
It is showing employee information, then the supervisor information. Okay. So now here these two columns represent that one, and what is the how exactly that particular tree is getting displayed. First thing is when you want to display the data using HGrid, you have to create a region called region whose region style should be HGrid. That's the first one, and there is nothing to set at this particular level. There is no need to set any property on this level. And after creating HGrid region, you have to create a region called tree. Within the HGrid, you have to create one more region called tree. And on this one,
Okay.
you just need to set only the attribute. There's nothing to set it. You just need to display the text. There is no other information you have to set it. You see the supervisor name is getting displayed because of the tree. So this middle information is a part of the tree logic. Okay. Now within this particular tree region, we have to create a member that will have the remaining information. So now when you create a member, it will have the two things. One is like the one
Map.
particular thing is we have to mention on the tree what is the value we want to display. So now in this thing I want to display one information, the employee information. And the child node, here we have to mention the hierarchy. What is this hierarchy is all about is, so if you observe, so I just need to follow my particular page structure. Till this part, my page dot tree region. You just need to mention like this. The total page path followed by your region name till tree.
Tree.
Employee
Okay.
HGrid page. dot tree feature. Okay, it is not required for single this thing, but like yeah. And other one is here I mentioned the view link accessor also, supervisor view, but where I am getting the view accessor, this will show you that. And if you see the view link here, I have created the view link between the employee details view as well as supervisor view. So the view link is created between employee details view and see it's kind of like what you say self-referential kind of thing, right? Self-join. I just mentioned a self-join. Supervisor ID is linked with the person ID. That is why like for your supervisor, that is for next level that becomes employee, and for him that is same information. Okay. So, but from where I'm getting the view accessor is
Yeah.
when you create a view link, there's a property called view accessor. And this is view accessor. This information we have to mention in the HGrid. This information we have to mention in the HGrid.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, HGrid generally it is used very rarely, but you just need to understand. You just need to know. Okay, there is a component called HGrid. That is what is the major thing. HGrid is used very rarely actually. Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, for the workflow, I have the code, but the thing is, I don't have sample ready available. And invoking a workflow, invoking content program, they are just ready-made kind of. You just have an API, you just need to use them. If you observe here, I mean, this particular sample will not work because I don't have the workflow ready. But if you observe here, the coding part of the calling the invoking the workflow, we have an API called, in the OA navigation. There's an API called OA navigation, and here you have to set the item property, your workflow properties, item name, process name, and the address. You need to set them. So create process,
Okay.
set item attribute, same thing. It is totally same. The way you invoke the workflow from PL SQL, the same thing here also. Only thing is Java API, there is the PL SQL API. Item process attributes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how we can use the workflow. Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll see the remaining things next.
Okay.